comes over to me and he says, "Those were not the chocolates." Ah, good evening and welcome to Having a Drink with Mink. I am, of course, your host, Jason Mink, and reports of my demise greatly exaggerated. As you can see, I am here, and I can say it's great to see you. Literally. Had a little bit of work done. Both eyes are pretty good now. I can actually see the camera without eyeglasses. The one problem is, well, I can't read a comic just yet. Still fine-tuning things a little bit, but Larry, well, he tells me I don't need to read them to talk about them. So we are back. Thank you for joining us once again on Having a Drink with Mink. I have a nice beverage. I hope you do as well. Sorry I started without you. Gotta stay on schedule. Let's jump right into it because there's a lot to talk about right off the bat. I came home the other day feeling a little blue, I must confess. And there was a missive taped to my front door. What was inside? Why, no less than original artwork from group member Eric Muller. OG Supreme, fantastic artist. He's contributed art to a number of these shows, and he sent these along to me after I'd commented on them when I saw them on his page. For those of you not in the know, these are, of course, the Mad Monsters from Mego. You have the Dreadful Dracula. You have the Fearsome Frankenstein. You have the Mildewed Mummy, and then the Wild and Woolly Wolfman. These are phenomenal. I have to say, you put them together, it makes a nice little collage. I can't do it. There are 4 cards. I only have 2 hands. We can drop something in, right, Larry? But as you can tell, this looks like it's done in pen, which is amazing. It really gives the art a moody, kind of nostalgic ambience. Eric nails the likenesses for sure. They're fun, they're spooky, they're everything these toys were, and more. How cool are these? So thank you very much, Eric. It made for a great pick-me-up. Can't wait to display them somewhere over with the other monsters. You betcha, because I love me some Migos. If you want to check out Eric's artwork, follow the link below. Talking about Migos, I see the Riddler is here. He appears to have a message. What's that all about? It says, love is on its way. All right, well, I reckon we'll leave a light on in the window, shall we? So what's in the box? Well, it's looking like it's going to be a Riverdale detour tonight. Yeah, it's been a while since I've talked about Archie, right? At least since the last time you saw me. And we're going to go whole hog because apparently, well, I have quite a few of these to get through, Larry tells me. So let's get right to it. This is Archie number 222 and a recycled gag, oft recycled. That was the thing. The understanding with the publishers of Archie was that every couple of years, kids were going to grow out of this book. They were going to move on to something else, smoking behind the gym, hot rods, acne, those sort of teenage pastimes. And so, they would reuse the gags over and over again because we've seen variations of this and actually variations that, are much more appealing in my opinion. But what are you going to do? Good gags are hard to come by. You work with what you got. In Art Project, Archie is doing a little yard work, but is more than a trifle distracted. Seems he's got Veronica on his mind, if the shapely shrubbery is any indication. And it turns out the kid is a topiary savant. Throw a dress on there, and I bet Reggie would go for it. Archie even paints Ronnie. Or is that one meant to be Betty? It's hard to tell without the hair color. Issue 112 of Archie's joke book sees the gallant gals take the stage. We have Betty and Veronica, along with my girl Midge, who's made the unconventional choice of banjo. Obviously, she's been highly influenced by the monks. At least, that's what I tell myself. Inside, it's Josie, and it looks like Albert is breaking up with her. And when she asks for one good reason why, Al is ready, with 9 of them. Rein it in, Tiger. Riverdale already has a Jughead. And speaking of, I couldn't help but notice that while Betty's mom looks normal enough, her dad bears an odd resemblance to a certain hamburger-loving teen. Forget about it, Jake. It's Riverdale. Speaking of scandals, here's one of the town's tawdriest playing out in plain sight. And do you think Midge chose to wear her name on her shirt, or is this a scarlet letter kind of thing? Either way, nice to advertise. And here's Josie, number 24, pre-Pussycats era. And we're witnessing the first mistake in Mighty Guy's career, as he can't jerk with his cape on. Probably for the best, all things considered. Inside, Albert is running for his life from the townsfolk. Seems he stumbled across an Eric Zanian-esque tune that compels people to tell the truth. Disbelieving our bard is forced to prove this outrageous claim. Check out Josie spilling her guts about her infidelity. This chick is brutal. Instead of the social erosion leading to a general understanding and acceptance of our mutual human foibles, the townsfolk decide instead to kill the messenger. Because that works too. Then Albert takes it on the jaw when his new facial hair fails to impress Josie. This is another gag that we'll see reused, as facial hair, or the lack of it, was good clean fun. Overcompensating, he buys this chin merkin, for which he is justifiably mocked. However, the indignity does not stop there, as his beard then gets stuck in Melody's earring before being forcibly removed by a violent lip lock from Alexandra, completing his ritual humiliation and leaving him, presumably, to end things with dignity off-panel. This never happened to Pippi the Hippie. Next up is Josie 25, and the kids are making the scene at the ski lodge. It's all fun and games till the wendigo gets you. Inside, Pepper is feeling unlucky, and with good reason. In short order, she's assaulted with a soccer ball, becomes the inadvertent victim of an aviation disaster which sets her hair on fire, before finally ending up headfirst in a nearby fountain. No wonder she left the book in issue 44, never to return. Big Ethel is treated with more dignity. In Beyond the Door, Melody is tasked with selling stockings, which she does in the most melodious of ways. And while this unconventional approach sees an uptake in sales, it also sees more than a few irate housewives incensed at their husband's sudden interest in the subject of ladies' hosiery. But like the song says, don't hate the player, hate the game. And then one more Josie. Not that I don't have more Josies in the pile to show you, but, there's a limit, right? This is number 26, and they're going to see the Gears. The group can't be too good. They only have 3 policemen protecting them. Yeah, there's something to that, I reckon. Then on the inside... I don't know what it is lately. Maybe I just haven't been eating enough, but anytime I see pizza represented in a comic book, it makes me insanely ravenous. I think I mentioned that in one of the last episodes, in fact. I talked about Larry's particular taste in pie. Moving on, and necessity is the mother of invention when it comes to Jughead enjoying a soda here at Pops. Or is that Pops? I'm guessing there have actually been dozens of guys who've owned that shop who've been driven to heart failure by the stress of, running such an operation in Riverdale. I was thinking about it the other day. There can't be a whole lot of money in running a malt shop, really. But, who knows? Monster fans see living skeletons with these X-ray glasses. Now, I remember how they used to advertise these with some grinning dolt holding his hand out like this. I think this is far more effective. If you're going to get $1 out of me, you better promise me corpses. And then what's happening on the inside? Love and Broom sees this wickedy witch type deciding it's time to hang up her dancing shoes and settle down. with Jughead. Talk about an impulse buyer. She magics herself up a new face and gets ready to make her play, but Reggie appears just then, digging the new gal. He's transformed into a reflection of his true self in short order, with the witch going after her main man. When she offers her target his heart's desire, she discovers she simply can't compete with grill-marked patties of the bovine persuasion, and disgusted, leaves Jughead with a little something to remember her by. Gee, I wonder why that dog is wearing Jughead's hat. All right, now I demand an in-canon reason, a resolution, if you will, for that story. I need to know how it all works out. Here, Jughead is apparently the prototype John Waters, and introducing Mr. Weatherby as Divine. Following on, and it's some high-flying shenanigans, Jughead expressing his disgust not with the movie, but with the lack of popcorn. Well, yeah, airline popcorn is usually the best, right? On the inside, we discover Jughead's new obsession with whittling. Obsession being the key word, as he whittles whatever wood he can find. And reading this, you realize, no way would this fly today. This kid would be so heavily medicated he wouldn't know where he was. And letting him walk around with a knife? Unlikely. But being that this was a different time, and a comic book even, Jughead's energies are instead channeled into doing something constructive with the old dead tree on the school lawn. And it was then the rituals began. But that's another story. What's happening on the inside? I thought this was lovely. This ad for an upcoming Christmas special. They just don't draw them like that anymore. And then speaking of odd-looking comic book food that makes you hungry, anytime I see weird flavors of ice cream represented in one of these Archie comics, I always think, oh yeah, sure, I'd definitely eat that. I don't know what that Godzilla green one is right there, but I'd give it a try, sure. Jughead in, the way to a man's heart. And the girls united against Jughead. They're trying to find a way to bring him down. Yes, they are. They don't like the fact that he resists their feminine charms. I don't like the fact that this cover's falling off. On the inside, we have my girl Midgel there with another delicious pizza. And here we have Laugh. This is number 169. And oftentimes moose stories can feel very one note, but this one is pretty phenomenal in how it's presented. It all starts when Midge has to choose a classmate to debate, and she chooses him. This gives old Marmaduke a little hot under the collar, so to speak. And what in MC Escher is going on with Midge's head? It's like the stylist showed her pictures of 6 different hairstyles and she said yes. As you might expect, things go terribly wrong, with Midge's mystery opponent tearing her argument to shreds, and then finding himself torn to shreds in the process. And I hardly recognize any of the names on his cast. I think the hospital staff has been signing out of pity. And here we have Laugh number 179. And Archie apparently really goes for that Fago. I'm not sure if he's a juggalo, but I think that's in keeping with pretty much everything we know about him. And then here on the cover of Laugh, Jughead is being complimented by his boss for his innovative use of salt. That's right. Sorry for your hearts, kids. Apparently they're really going for that purple stuff. Come on. We all know that kids love Sunny D. And on the inside, Betty and Veronica team up for some sisterly love. Wait a minute. That sounds a little weird. But you know what? I think we're going to let it stand. Then it's Veronica's Fashions, the leg warmers. And sure, that's all well and good when you got a set of stems like Ronnie. But, you know, apparently The folks over at Archie felt that they needed to give equal time for the less well-endowed, as we can see by Big Ethel's pinup. Are you lonesome tonight, OGs? Well, don't worry. We got you covered. If that wasn't terrifying enough, now you can grow 7 monsters for only $1. As there were never any news reports of cities decimated by monsters, it's safe to say they're covering it up. I, for one, demand accountability, or at least some monsters of my own. And then here's Laugh. And I had to laugh when I saw this. Price tag 12 cents. Our price, 30 cents. Ha ha! Up yours. Really? 30 cents? That seems awfully high for an old comic book, but hey, what do I know? And then here we have Veronica's pinup. Why do you act so kooky, Bongo? Who's acting? Wait, Bongo? Since when? I mean, that's just Betty, right? She's right there. It's just Betty. She get hit on the head or something? Yeah, that stands to reason for a 60s sitcom type humor thing. Here we have Laugh. And, golly, how come Supergirl is so famous? Because she's the first hero to ever wear bell-bottoms. Is that it? Really? And then on this issue of Laugh, I noticed that Jughead, well, he looks straight out of Captain Beefheart's Magic Band. Yes, he does. Not sure about these other two squares. Get with the times. And on the inside, why, nothing less than a 6-page little Jinx story. I call those the syntax of Archie Comics. Yes, I do. Because it's true. When it comes right down to it, it doesn't say anything about little Jinx. There's no picture. She's not indicated anywhere. There's no reason you should stick 6 pages of little Jinx in my comic. Especially when you call it Laugh. I ain't laughing, sir. No, I'm not. However, we do get this wonderful ad for Betty, making her first appearance as Super Teen. And then Peter Tork is looking hench. Man, maybe this girl should use some of that stuff on her neck. Dear God. I'd hate for a stiff wind to blow. Speaking of ads, meet the Archies on Welch's Jelly Glasses. Now, undoubtedly, there are those among you who recognize the artistic stylings of one Al Hartley. Yes, the man who illustrated all of those Spire comics back in the day has a tell, and that's the eyes, making all of the characters look like they just spent the night doing PCP with Woody Woodpecker. And I ain't reading it, but how's this for a caption? Hey, it's either that or a dozen cats. And so there you have it. Sadly, there was an error with the last part of the video, so you can no longer see me, but I'm here. Rest assured, even though there'll be a few gaps in the next few months, we will be back again for more fun, fellowship, and of course, old comics. Until the next time, I am Jason Mink. Cheers.